2 versus 2, isn't it?
It's pairings, and it's sort of like in a group way, and you work with your teammate in a way. Okay. Is it on?
Okay, welcome one and all to GPVWC's Race of Champions. We're just seeding Road Heasterbeek, getting off and underway with Nick Rowland as they make their first lap around the track. I believe we may be having some camera problems. We'll be with you shortly on that, but it is Nick Rowland versus Rude Heasterbeek as the first group duo get underway. Rowland in the black car, Heasterbeek in the white car, and it's looking like Heasterbeek is out in front as they cross the first of the 4 timed laps here. Rowland slightly getting ahead in the second of the 2 rings. Oh, he's gone round! Nick Rowland's round already, facing the wrong way. An early casualty then for the GPVWC Race of Champions. Heasterbeek's going to have an easy one so long as he keeps it all on the road. Race of Champions circuit is so tricky to deal with, and we'll have the cameras with you soon as we can. But yeah, Rowland already arse about face, and unfortunately, unless you're in some kind of menage a trois, that is not going to help you out one little incy bit. And Heasterbeek is keeping it nice and tidy. He knows that he's got a 5-second advantage over Rowland, who's recovered quite quickly from that pirouette. Darcy bustling. And there we go, Rude's across the line, a 1:42.796, and Rowland's in the wall again on the very final turn. He's made a right mess of that car, and oh dearie me, across the line he comes, a 1:58.689, nearly 16 seconds off the old Paceroo. That's not going to help anyone, unfortunately. Strike 1 to Rude Heasterbeek against Nick Rowland. Their teams are Heasterbeek's teammate David Stanton, and Nick Rowland is Timo Twicker. Timo Tonka Truck. As you get going, I promise we'll have the cameras shortly as they next duo look like they're going to head out onto the old Trackaroo. This end of festival fun that we've got going on here. There they are. They're on the start line. 3, 2, 1. Twicker versus Stanton. The lights are coming, they're off and away. Twicker off to a much better start in the black car. Stanton on the inside line has got much tighter apexes to go round, and he veers off. Twicker going around the outside, looking nice and neat and tidy, although he's going very wide and just scraped the edge of the barrier on the outside of his first turn, and in fact is going all over the place. He's not quite worked it out, and I don't know what's happened to David Stanton. He's gone off already in some kind of drama. Indeed he has, as yeah, he's kind of lagged out and rejoined back in again. 1.9 seconds down at the end of lap 1 as they move themselves back round again. Let's see what Twicker's been up to. Oh, he's looking a bit ragged indeed, but Stanton is looking a little bit less edgy, and in fact Twicker really in trouble around some of these corners, but he's still kept the advantage as they cross halfway. from Stanton. 1.179 seconds, the gap. Stanton needs a much tighter line, but not that tight. He's practically coming to a standstill run some of these corners. Toyka's car looking a little bit more like he's comfortable flicking out the back end and therefore able to steam the rear tyres round. It's creating a kind of mirage effect with all the smoke behind, but it's working well. And Stanton there clipping the barrier. That won't help him one little bit, and now he's 4.2 behind. This is looking great for Toyka, but unfortunately Roland is so far off from his first stint that I think Toyka is not going to be able to really sort out exactly what will happen as he crosses over the bridge to take the final potential honours. We'll get the time on the clock as he crosses over the line, and that's a 1:42.322 to yoink that one. David Stanton a 1:46.109. Those times added together will mean that Heasterbeek and Stanton will go through because Nick Rowland was busy throwing it all away ever so slightly there.
Okay, I am back. My computer crashed at the worst possible time.
Welcome back, Brad. You missed a corker there. Nick Rowland was busy trying to mate with every barrier possible. So that went well quite nicely. And I think we've also been joined by Ollie Woods.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm here, ready to go. Well, just dusting myself after running back from work. It's good to be here. Good to see you, Simon and Bradley.
Hello.
Hello.
Fantabby-do stuff. I don't know if actually they're going again. You've got Toyka versus Heasterbeek for this next one as they lining themselves up.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the camera sorted. It's just taking a long time to respond. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, I am very sorry. Just really bad timing.
So the clock strikes 0. Toyka in the black, Heasterbeek in the white. Doesn't matter if you're one or the other, says Michael Jackson, but I think it will do by the end of this, and they're both off and away nicely. Heasterbeek with a much better entry into the original corners there. Toyka going around the outside looking a little bit more under control this time, although he still goes in very deep into some of these corners, and yeah, definitely off and away. In fact, he's sliding the car around his Timu, and Heasterbeek looking a little bit more together potentially, but actually a little bit slower as they cross the end of lap 1, and he's 0.7 of a second behind. This is by far the closest duo so far. They round the next couple of old corners going on, and let's see, have we got the cameras all going yet?
Yep.
Woohoo!
Finally.
So Toyka now behind Heasterbeek as the old pendulum swings, and Heasterbeek crosses the halfway point, and he's 1.144 seconds ahead of Heasterbeek, and this is exactly what Timu needs to do basically, because he needs to get that 16-second deficit that Roland had lost out on to try and claw things back. Nose to tail.
Very close. Into the final turn. Okay, so final lap starting. Well, final half a lap.
Indeed, and that was as close as it could be. If it was any closer, I think they would be considered a part of a duo as they go round these last couple of corners. And it looks as if Toyka's got it potentially looking a little bit more. No, he's not at all actually. He's well out in front. He'd snuck right through in the last half there to win by 0.6 of a second, a 1:41.830 for Heasterbeek, a 1:42.495 for Timu Toyka, and that's by far the closest one we've seen so far, guys.
Well, yeah, it was a brilliant final lap there by Ruud. Timu just wasn't able to keep the pace through on that final lap, it seems.
I wonder if it's because where he was lighting the tyres up so much on the opening lap, basically, the tyres do seem to boil up and shred quite quickly around there, talking to the guys down in the chat room earlier on.
You do have to be really careful here with the tyres, especially when you're touching the curbs, when you're hitting those walls. You know, there's a lot of hazards around this track. It looks simple, but it really isn't.
Got Roland in the black car and Stanton in the white car for this next little shindig.
Watching lights now, they get ready to leave the start-finish line and go towards the race. And they're off. Great start.
Oh, it's a great start from Stanton. Right into turn 1. Oh, misses the apex there for the first turn though.
Oh, a bit of a slide there from Roland as he comes around the chicane. This could be anyone's game, this one.
Well, let's see how it is after the first half of a lap. Are they still close? No. Stanton's far behind now.
Stanton just tapping the wall there as he comes around the corner to cross the line. Bit of a gap in it, 1.4 seconds, so that can easily be redone with the shorter track there for Stanton. But he's tapped the wall going through the first corner. He's having a little bit of a drift there. Stanton keeps it going. So a little bit of tentativeness there from him, leaving a bit of oil on the track there.
He's closed back in again, and let's see how it is at the line. The
Nick
gap
Rowland's
is
going to have it. Halfway stage is there.
it's a second, less than a second now.
0.95 to be precise, and Rowland goes out for his second time around the outside track, looking pretty good. There is Stanton, just a little bit of wiggle.
Oh, and Rowland clips the wall there, and he nearly hit it straight on. If he did hit it straight on, he wouldn't have had much of a car left.
Got to be so careful here with those walls. One mistake as we saw last night with Boyd Bryson taking a little flip over the wall, and it could be all over.
So Rowland seems to have this one in the bag. He's now got the gap up to 2.4 seconds.
Still has to take the more technical in a route though, but that a pretty good gap.
No, I think he's got it. He's around the outside now. Yeah, he's got it now. Ah. And there he is, crossing the line. Doing the time of 1 minute 44. Nick Rowland takes the victory from David Stanton.
Well, that goes some way to making up for his 1 minute 58. I want to hug every barrier attempt that went on there beforehand. That was what you guys missed. He was busy running around. So that's gone 2 apiece. So they're going to be going to a tiebreaker. It sounds all a bit Brucey bonus generation game to me.
Well, it's nice to see you nice.
Last time I had a Brucey bonus, I was in a very sorry state. But that's another story potentially for another day. And I think Nick is already, Nick wants Timu to go ahead. Won't repeat what he's put in the chat box on air.
Nice to say he's not very happy there, is he? Who's your money on, Simon?
Oh, it depends. I don't know if Timu's got the bit between his teeth. His car looks more slidier, and I think it will fade away in the second lap. So if they put Heasterbeek forward, I think they could be second to the old Beakables. How about you guys?
My money's on probably Rude. I thought, but Timu, you can never doubt him.
I'd probably go with Rude, even though, well, you never know what can happen with lag.
Wow, Timu's lag is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, well, the lights are going out anyway.
Great start by Timu. He's one of it's looking neck and neck as they go round for the first lap. Used to be a little bit of dust there. And a bit of a sideways action there from Timu Toika, trying to get that hairpin and cut it off, but he's just gone a little bit over. Doesn't look
He's ahead after half a lap, but obviously now he's got the slightly longer route, I believe.
Yeah, 1.4 seconds. Oh, very close there not to spin it. Very, very close. And he's almost taken a tumble around that corner as well. Timu Toika really playing a fire. Oh, and again, he's almost kind of rallying the car around here, just like a bit of a drift.
Well, that's almost what you've got to do.
The Finnish style there, playing out the Scandinavian flick, and it looks like it's going to pay off. Oh, it's going to.
Oh no, it's very close.
Less than a tenth of a second in it, but Timu has the advantage as we go around for the third and fourth laps. The second time round, the second full lap for both drivers.
Just 66 thousandths of a second then separating the two as they cross the line, and Toika definitely with that rally drifting style, but that's going to mean that his tyres are going to be a little bit second hand in the second half, and this could be where Heasterbeek pulls up the advantage, and he's looking supreme as he comes around the outside to complete off there. Just 1.5 seconds off. Can Timu get it all the way to the end?
He's got to push it hard, but not too hard here, to make sure that he keeps the advantage as we go around to the last lap. Timu properly flicking it into those corners. I think that's probably his chosen out here.
Well, I think it's cost him some time. Oh, it's very close. And into the final corner they go, the side by side. Timu cannot get the run down. Oh!
Timu Toika takes it by 0.077 of a second.
Oh.
Wow! Nick Rowland
he's offering
swearing
himself
quite
up
loudly.
Yeah. So Crikey, 77 thousandths of a second was all that took for Teemu Toika, and that was out of the final corner, wasn't it? Heasterbeek smacking the outside barrier, and he just lost momentum, didn't he?
Absolutely crazy there. Just you could see that Scandinavian flick style was working for Teemu, and you just have to make sure you don't hit the barriers, and Reed was having a little bit too much there. He'll be kicking himself, but Roland and Toika go through.
A rude awakening for the Heasterbeek.
Nicely done, Simon.
Boom. You can tell the alcohol's out. It's an end of party season here.
Nice. I wish I had some alcohol with me.
Now,
Later.
if I am correct, it should be Gaspers and Tveit. That'll be one of the pairings.
Yep, it's David Gaspers and Eric Tveit taking on the 2012 Super League champion Lucas Euler and his partner Mark Fuller. Now, last night, Fuller surprised everyone in winning his 2 races. I think given his kind of position on the grid this year, people weren't expecting that. It looks like he's got a really, really solid knowledge of this car and this track, despite only having about 35 minutes to practice last night.
Jammy little sod.
I know that Fuller was one of the people that wanted to start a bit earlier last night with the cars being released. As we said, everyone gets the same opportunity here.
So equal ops. We consider ourselves London. So
Nice.
Gasper's in the back, Euler in the white. Let's see what happens. We're off and away for the first one of these matchups. And Gasper's off
It's
to
a
a
poor
much
start
better
from
start.
Euler. The
Great start from
2012 Super
Gaspers.
League champion struggles at the start.
Lucas Euler will want to pull it back from there. Battle of the Germans here. Gaspers 9th in his 1 Super League outing. 3rd in the Formula Challenge. Did a really great job there. And Euler, of course, the champion.
Gaspers has made a right hash of the inner field.
That he has.
Well, if you was able to keep track of the Formula Challenge season, David Gaspers joined halfway through the season and won multiple races. He dominated some of the races, including getting a double win at the Irish Grand Prix at Montello Park.
Definitely a proven talent. Maybe one to watch on the grid for 2013 if he can find a drive. I know he was looking at some certain Greek-based teams for the end of last season, but couldn't get there. And it's looking so close as they come across the line. I don't think there was a gap at all. Dead heat. Wow.
Well, Gaspers is ahead by 7,000 seconds. Can Euler get back at Gaspers?
Oh, Gaspers spins it! Gaspers onto the grass! Very lucky to keep going there. And it, somehow, he's still in with a shout with this one. David Gaspers a little bit behind Euler, but he has got that tight technical section. He'll have to hope for a mistake.
Oh, so it just happened. He got too much on the curb, and that is very crucial for this race.
You can't ride the curbs too much. We found that last night. Oh, another tank slapper there as he comes around the hairpin.
Oh, and it slide as well around the
teams coming off there. Lucas Euler's going to have this. He says without having not to curse them. And yeah, there we go. Euler wins it. 1.8 seconds, the gap.
And that was all run and loss in the curbs, wasn't it? Because David doing so well on the opening sector, then got a little bit greedy, didn't he, on the inside curbs? And it just there's no grip there, and you just grip there. Sorry, so you just end up spinning the rear round, and yeah, your ass is flying around like you're some kind of Viz character, Fat Spags.
You've just got to be so careful. I know quite a few drivers were trying to go full out on those kind of raised curbs last night.
So now we have Mark Fuller and Eric Tveit. Now, as you should know, Eric Tveit is his speciality is in touring cars. So these sort of cars are perfect for the young Norwegian.
That's right. One of the few Masters winners this year, alongside Dave Cosworth and Simon Cattell. I think he won the. Was it right? He won one of the first. I think he did.
Yeah.
Mark Fuller, no slouch either. Did well in the Masters, and he'll hope to prove himself. Done well to get this far already. Here we go. Lights out any second now. Hear them revving. And it's off Eric Tveit. Great start from him.
Yeah, and he leaps into the lead. He's now going around the really long left bend, which is around the outside of this circuit, before going underneath the bridge, and that's when he goes onto the inside of the circuit.
Tveit nearly losing it there through the sweeper. It's such a tough first corner, especially at speed there on the outside track. If you get it wrong, you're going to either drift out and oversteer into a spin, or you're going to hit the barrier. But he's still a long, long way ahead of Fuller. 2 seconds in it, 2.4 seconds in fact, as he gets ready for the inner field. Fuller looking all kinds of wobbly here.
Let's see who will come across the line first. Oh no, it won't be Fuller, because Fuller just was wall. Oh, he spun as well. Well, he just hit the wall, and then he spins as well. So just double trouble there for Fuller, as Tveit is in the lead.
Done well to keep the gap to 2.1 despite his offs though. Looking alright here. Around the intersection.
Yeah, Tveit just needs to make sure he does not make any mistakes. If he makes a single mistake, Fuller will be right back on his tail.
Fuller getting caught up on the curbs there again as he comes over the bridge. As he comes towards near the end of his final lap. It's looking like a big gap, but he's still got that outfield to take. But the gap's 3.9. Have money on Eric Tveit here unless he makes a mistake, and he almost does there around the tight bend into the second one. Perfectly done. Bit of a tank slapper, and he almost. Oh, he's lost it!
Oh, and that's it. I think that's given Fuller the victory. Well, he did a very quick 360. That is pure rally skills there.
What a lovely donut there, but I think that's going to be too much. Here he goes, Mark Fuller takes the race, and that's 2-0.
As lovely a donut as that was, I think he'll be feeling like one by the end of that, because he had that in the palm of his hand, didn't he? Oh dear.
So easy for him, he just needed to keep the car on the track. I don't think he quite managed it, did he? So, yeah, Eric might want to place his forum poster instead of the Cookie Monster with just a ginormous Simpson donut spattered on the middle. I think he's pretty happy with his awesome skills as he puts it though.
Well, Eric is now racing again. He'll want to amend that mistake he made on the final lap, and he's got a tough task if he does want to amend it, because he's got the 2012 Super League champion.
Yeah, Lucas Euler taking him on for a chance to progress to the final without having to have the nail-biting 4th and 5th races. Here we go, Euler in white, Tveit in black. It would have been better if it had been Tveit in white, really, wouldn't it? Getting ready for the lights now. And away we go.
And Eric rockets from the start.
But then again, Lucas Euler didn't have the best of starts last time. And look where he finished. Track. Lucas Euler doing his usual thing and just go around the corner and say, right. Tveit trying to push it hard. Definitely an oversteer. Told these cars are really great for oversteer because of that short wheelbase. The rear likes to step out of it. That's Tveit lead by 1.1 seconds, but he's tapped the barrier. Got to be careful of that.
Obviously now he's on the slightly longer track, so this should allow Lucas to catch back up, and I think it'll be very close, especially as Eric made that mistake at the opening turn.
He'll be very pleased that it wasn't harder into the barrier, or he'd be losing a wheel. And Euler with a little bit of a drift there, but he's still got a sizable lead.
Oh, and he makes another drift out of the corner, but he does lead by 0.8 of a second.
Right, taking that corner nicely on the inside, not taking any chances here. Trying to leave himself the best possible corner. He's taking it nicely. Oh, a little bit of a...
That was brilliant. Oh, that wasn't brilliant though. He clips the wall on the entry to the tight right hairpin. Lucas
Euler a little bit slow though coming out of the bridge. This could be anyone's race. I said that quite a lot last night, but it really could be. 0.2 of a second in it. Right, almost loses in the section. Got to work hard not to repeat the same mistakes he made in the last race. Going tight around the hairpins. A really tough section of this track, isn't it, Simon?
Absolutely. I mean, I've noticed the inside bit takes about 1.6 seconds longer than the outside loop, so that's the kind of thing gap that you need to have as Euler takes it by 1.4 seconds. He was 2 temps up coming into that, or 2 temps down, sorry, on Veit. You need to have about 1.6 seconds advantage going into that final loop round, because that's the kind of offset that you have over the course of a lap. And Euler yoinking that one quite nicely against Veit, who put up a very, very strong defence. But yeah, sometimes the flick works in your favour, unfortunately. Other times it doesn't, and it tosses you straight into the barriers. But best to go out fighting hard than to not put up a fight at all.
Indeed, and he'll be gutted about that, and it's 3-0. They'll be through into the semi-finals later on tonight. But we've still got the race between Fuller and Gaspers now. Was already on the grid. Fuller joins him. 10 seconds till the lights come on. Who do you reckon's going to win this one, boys?
Gaspers.
We'll soon see.
Fuller
proving nice. Fuller proving earlier that You can't write him off at any point. And they're off. Great stuff by Gaspers again.
And I think that was more of a poor start from Fuller there. He was actually very slow away, very slow reacting.
Having to push himself not to go, not to make a mistake for that first corner. He's just tapped the wall there.
Yeah, he missed the apexes as well.
I don't think he's quite just relying on Luke.
Oh! Gaspers very sideways in the.
And Fuller taps the wall. Fuller taps the wall. Loses a bit of his car. He'll be hoping that's not too terminal though. He looks like he's all right.
2.6 seconds the gap as they cross the end of that one, so it's definitely advantage Fuller. Gaspers, sorry.
You can see as we come around, Fuller keeping on the straight and narrow, looking good. Gaspers also.
Well, I think Gaspers got this one in the bag.
Right at the halfway stage, he's looking like he's a long way ahead. 1.7 seconds. Bit of a sizable gap.
Ooh,
Fuller's round.
Fuller loses it, but he manages to save it, so not too much time lost, but...
Gaspers almost losing it there. Through the sweeper. Very lucky to hang on. He's got a gap. Fuller fights to get over the bridge. Gaspers still with the tougher intersection though, but I think he's got more than 1.6 seconds. Looks like a good 4 seconds to be precise, as Gaspers almost loses it again on the curbs. Almost trying to fight it too much. Nice bit of Scandinavian flick there through the hairpin.
Well, at this circuit, you've got to be aggressive with the curbs, but if you're too aggressive, it will bounce back.
It looks like Gaspers is going to take the consolation victory here as he crosses the line. We'll see where Fuller comes in. 3.9 seconds, the gap. Consolation victory, 3-1 to Lucas and Mark, and they'll go through to the semi-finals later on.
Big congratulations then to Lucas Euler and Mark Fuller that go through. Unfortunately, Gaspers and Veet out, along with Stanton and Eastbeek. So,
right. Well, let's just have a quick look at the round table. Let's see how the rest of the fixtures go. So, as you can see on your screen, the ones on the left, they're completed, but on the right we have 2 more groups of fixtures, as you should be able to see.
Okay, so waiting a big race here, Jim Parisis versus Simon Melhuish. The battle of the torrent. Manager Simon Melhuish done a great job this year, Formula Challenge, Super Cup and World Sports Series all under his belt. And his star driver Jim Parisis, Formula Challenge champion. Some are saying he's going to hit the Super League hard this year, as Torrent have made it through.
great to see Sai out on track actually, poor guy.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented driver. And they're off. Simon Melnish with a decent start there. But you can never write either of them off. Paris is going around the tight first hairpin. Go around now, Simon Melnish taking the back out a little bit. But she's got a sizable lead here. Of course, he's still got to take the inside scary section that's written so many people off. 1.493, maybe just under what he needs to go around this section.
Looking nice and tidy from the pair of them though, and they've got a completely different style to getting around some of these corners compared to what we've already seen from the Scandinavian side. There's a far more reserved western edge to the driving, and it's just neck and neck. Parisis with the advantage ever so slightly in the final corner.
A little bit of a wobble there from Melhuish. 0.171 the gap as Parisis tries to use it through that really tight first hairpin. Oh, a little bit of a flick there, not too much though. So Melhuish just almost getting lost on the curb, manages to right it before he has that problem. And he goes quite wide on the apex there. He's got a lead, but is it going to be enough? We'll soon find out as he comes across the line. 1 second, this could be Parisis' race if he can just keep it straight and narrow as he goes around the outside track, the shorter track. But no, he's out!
Oh! Big crash there, let's see what happens. Oh no! Is he? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah he is.
Wobbles into the barrier through the first corner, catches it on the nose, just between the red and white stripe barrier and the other barrier. And I think Melhuish wins that by miles, in fact.
Well, yeah,
Brutus
because
retiring
actually, Paresis actually crashed out of the race. He was DNF, I believe.
Indeed, so that's 1-0 to Melwish. Partner Tom Parker not here tonight.
143 there from Simon Melhuish, so nice and competitive. And Paris is so unlucky with where he crashed in because it was, as you said, Ollie, it was just right in the very nudge beginning of where that red and white barrier is.
Yeah. Now, that time of 143, it's not as fast as other drivers. We've seen other drivers do about 140.
Well, you can never be too sure around this track. And now we have Christoph Lichtenstein, successful manager of Green Stripes Racing this year.
And he's also a previous Super Cup champion.
Indeed he is. Got Bennett here, replacing Tom Parker. I'm sure Tom will be happy with that. The man that they love to kind of mock a little bit. I don't know why that is. But Scott Bennett will be out to prove them wrong after last night's kind of capitulation with Bornas Bojaric in the first round. Here we go. It's a very quick start from Christoph Lichtenstein. Straight through the first corner. Bennett taking a very inside line there. Christoph Lichtenstein.
Oh, and Bennett's in the wall.
Bennett in the wall already, blimey. Still going
Yeah.
though. Bit of a wobble. Maybe this car doesn't see him. I can't remember which car he was in last night, but he's taking a lot of curve there, trying to kind of ride the curve towards the apex.
But he seems to be
Just
helping. He's got a slight advantage now, but now he's going for the longer track.
Lichtenstein
Oh!
a bit there. Oh no, he's met the barrier again! Can't keep doing this risky business or he's going to lose his wheels and end up retiring from the race, and that won't be any good for Melhuish. Bennett comes around the hairpin, past the little donut that's Fight left earlier, over the bridge. Christoph coming round another corner. This is going to be very close. I think Christoph's going to be a fair way behind, but they've still got 2 laps to go. Oh no, there we go. The gap was 4 seconds. Bennett has the advantage here. He's making a meal of this, isn't he?
We just
Bennett.
see Lichtenstein coming through these, coming onto the bridge.
Bennett's
Hasn't
trying
been
his
able to
hardest.
close up at all. Hasn't been able to close up much, but he hasn't lost much time either.
Going to be very, very close. The gap 2.1 seconds. Lichtenstein needs to find an extra half a second over. Got Bennett
Oh
here,
no,
but
Bennett goes wide. Bennett
Bennett
misses
very,
the apex.
very wide. Having to be really careful.
Oh,
no,
he's
got
lost
it!
control, and he's done a fight.
Oh, but he's not quite done it in the same way, and he's just stuck it into the bridge. I don't know if he's going to recover from that. It looks like he's given up the ghost.
It's given it's given Lichtenstein an easy win.
And that's 1-1 then. The battle here between Lichtenstein and Paresis versus Bennett and Melhuish. Bennett's going to carry on though. At least kind of drag it over the line. Some form of consolation here. Bennett won't be happy there, will he, Bradley?
No, not at all. He had that one almost in the bag. He had a 2-second lead into the final lap, which should have been enough. But he was just a bit too aggressive on the curbs. He got his inside wheels on the inside of the curb, and that's what spins the car around.
Well, here we go again. No time to breathe here at the Race of Champions at Wembley Stadium. We'll have Jim Paresis versus Scott Bennett. So the battle of the losers last race. Paresis taking himself out through the barrier. Almost doing an untimely end. I'm told that Bennett was stuck in reverse, which he wasn't very happy with. Just chatting to him now, he's not very happy at all. He said that he was stuck in reverse and he sent the string of expletives my way.
Right then, just waiting for the 2 cars on track.
Just missed the start, wasn't he?
Well, that was a bit of a failure. Well,
Will we
I
reboot
don't know.
it? No,
I don't
we will
know.
restart.
I was going to say,
Silly
if that didn't restart, that would have been quite a major advantage there.
I thought of him talking to me. Soon see what happens. They both line up on the grid again. All in the Peugeot 207s tonight. Not quite sponsored by Peugeot, but we decided best to keep those cars instead of alternating between those and the Legends cars. It's a shame because those Legends cars last night were great fun. Bit more kind of wrench on the steering for them. Here we go, both drivers safely on the starting grid. Bennett in the black, Brutus in the white. 4 laps to the track, 2 of each side. And
And they're off.
Great start from both of them. Hard to tell. It looks like Priest has got the advantage, but you can never tell until they get a couple of laps. Bennett taking... Oh no, he's lost it already! Bennett lost it into the barrier. Car's spun round. He's lost the front wing already. Probably... But Priest is going around. I think he just has to keep it on the track.
Is he still in reverse gear?
I don't think he is. He's got it going, but I think that's probably the end of operations tonight. He's got to rely on Malwish to kind of keep it into a tiebreaker, and then got to rely on Malwish again. Most likely, I'd have thought, given his current problems in the tiebreaker, if he gets that far. Priest is wobbling it. Proper tank slapper there. As he goes round to finish his second lap. There's such a massive gap here. Bennett goes around the first few corners of his second lap. Will Paresis manage to catch him in a bit of a team pursuit action? We'll soon find out.
If Bennett makes any more mistakes, Paresis could very easily lap him.
We'll soon find out. 17 seconds. It's quite a long round as Bennett crosses the line. 17.6 second gap.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, Paresis could do the same thing as he did in the last race, but he's got one more lap of the outer track that caused him so much problems last time around to take. Taken out cleanly, has he? Yeah, yep. Just about. Just breaks in time to miss that red and white barrier that caused him so much grief last time. Catches himself a little bit on the curbs, but it doesn't matter, I think. When it's too far behind, Paresis can kind of bring it over the line, drag it over the line almost. And there we go. Race to Paresis, 2-1. Bennett's just taken himself off anyway. Was that a surprise there, Bradley?
Not at all. Jim Priest is the 2012 Formula champion, and Scott Bennett's main achievement is Novice Cup in the Master Series.
Of course, you would say that Bennett did a good job this year. In doing that Novice Cup Masters, people didn't really know him before then.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely kind of opened himself up to other drivers now. So now we see Liechtenstein versus Melhuish going to be to decide whether we go into a tiebreaker or whether it goes to Liechtenstein and Paresis. Soon find out. Bennett's left now, so even if he doesn't have to. Even if it goes to a tiebreaker, then I think it will be Melhuish that takes the traffic lights. Starts again on the 5th race. You can tell I've just come from work, can't you?
What's wrong?
Just waiting for these lights.
Getting ready.
Take a long time. Oh, now they're going.
Lights out, here we go.
It's a very even start between the two.
It would look like Melhuish just about got the advantage, but as we say, anything can happen here, and usually does, to quote Murray Walker. A little bit of oversteer there from Simon Melhuish. Oh, a little bit more there. Wastes the apex there. Not
well,
he
managed to get a late apex, but it was a bit too late.
I think he's going to have the advantage there, Christoph Liechtenstein. All sorts of trouble with the wall there. And indeed, the gap's 1.7 seconds. No, sorry, 2.1 seconds. My mistake. Just about enough in there for Melhuish.
Oh, and Liechtenstein just has a small clip with the wall, and again!
Yeah, you can see the little dent there on the right-hand side of his car. So careful. Got to be so careful on this track. Oh, he's gone straight on. Liechtenstein spent most of his season either depping in Super League after having the wonderful Dave Carl Smith picking his car, or he's been in the World Sports Series. He looked alright in that. Quite a few pit stops, if I remember, at the Monaco track, but then again, who didn't? Melhuish just pushes it a bit too hard. He's really running his car ragged.
Well, it seems to be working for him. Liechtenstein not being very aggressive, and also missed out on a few apexes. You know, it's quite. Oh yeah, he didn't use all the tracker there at the final corner. 3.4
seconds the gap as we go to the final lap. Christoph Liechtenstein on the outside, hoping for a mistake from Melhuish so he can take the heat overall. Melhuish hoping to keep it in place for a tiebreaker. We do like a good tiebreaker here. Only one last night, and that was in the final race. Melhuish comes around. It's going to be an easy win for him, especially as Liechtenstein just plants the barrier.
So that now takes it to a tiebreaker, I believe.
Yep, 2 seconds in it. It's going to be 2-2.
Well, looks like we're going to be seeing Simon racing, but who else? Liechtenstein or Paresis? I'd probably go with Paresis.
I think I probably would too. Who do you think, Simon? Are you still with us?
I'm still with you. I was just refreshing my drinkies. And Jim's offering himself, actually, saying, me, and yeah, he is faster, he's been a bit more ragged, but I think in these kind of tie-breaking situations, you'd rather put all your eggs in one basket and hope for one extra fast, clean lap, as opposed to going for the old slowly but surely.
Indeed. And just for interest for our fans, what are you drinking tonight, Simon?
Lots.
Anything in particular?
Amaretto and Coke, and I've got some of that new Stella cider.
Oh, very nice. Both drinks. Personal fans in the Woods household here.
I
think we've got a couple of ciders knocking around. I might go and grab one of those later on. Then again, drinking alone, albeit with you guys, all around the world, probably not the best idea.
That is true. Although I did miss it all for the old GPVWC meet, which I desperately wanted to come along to. Unfortunately, work got in the way. Yeah, that was a good bash.
It was a good laugh indeed. Lots of shouting at the television when Alonso and Vettel were doing battle. Lots of shouting at Will Panisi for his Norwegian lineup. Trolling everybody. I think it's safe to say that their Midnight and maybe some others are going to spring a lot of great racing this year in GPVWC Super League.
Absolutely. Who wishes on the line, but no one's...
Oh, here there he is.
Ping.
Lights are on, no one's home. And
sounds like
talking of lights, here we go. This one to decide who hits the semi-finals. Lights out, away we go. Simon and Malwish with a great start. They just about got the advantage, though Paresis has to take the corner first. So it's kind of nullified there. Round the tight bends for Paresis, looking good. Hopefully trying to avoid a repeat of his antics in the first race against Malwish.
It's very clean from both drivers so far, very equal. I don't think much will be able to separate these two. Obviously, Simon has a small advantage, but I think Jim just clipped the wall.
Indeed he has. 1.6 seconds as Malwish. Oh, he's just met the wall there. Bit of oversteer. Working very hard with steering here. Trying not to push it too much, but at the same time trying to get the best traction through the corners. And it is a tight track around there. Paresis doing the same thing, a bit of rubber left on the track, and it's neck and neck as we go around. Maybe Paresis with a slight advantage. Indeed, 0.075 in it as Paresis takes that first set split after both drivers have done two laps of the track. Now Paresis, oh, he's a bit of tail happy there coming out of the corner, but Malwish jumping over the curves as well. If only we could do super slow-mos here on the Race of Champions on television. He's going to have a decent advantage here. Will it be enough, though, as he takes the tougher infield? 1.3 again.
Yeah, it's the same gap as before, even though Jim had a slight up with the inside of the wall at the final corner. That might have caused him to lose a bit of momentum into that full throttle, well, not full throttle, but almost full throttle left-hander at the outside.
Indeed, a slight understeer there from Malwish. We'll see when they come back together. Oh, this is going to be tight. I wouldn't want to put anyone.
I think I'm going to put my money on Simon. No!
Oh, a little bit of a barrier hit there for him. Malwish, and that leaves him out. I think that'll be Paresis and Liechtenstein through to the semi-finals here at the Race of Champions. I'm going to tell Tom Parker the bad news.
Yeah. Well, that was we're down to the very, very last corner out, wasn't it? Because Malwish had more of an advantage or more of a momentum coming out of that final corner and just touched the outside barrier, didn't he, Brad?
Well, they both clipped the wall in some way, it's just that Simon had a much bigger knock than Paresis did.
Yeah. So they're dropping like flies as they approach the semi. I know.
So we now with 3 teams in the semi-finals. Now we just got 2 more teams who will now battle it out for that final semi-final place position.
Indeed, this is going to be an absolutely epic battle. We've got Team CSG and Midnight versus Team Hawkeye here. Alex Cooper and Roy Schroten both confirmed at Midnight or CSG in some form of capacity next year. Alex in the Super League after his impressive win there this year, and also his dominance to come second, or maybe almost slightly dominance then, in the Super Cup. Lewis Redshaw and Rick Scott, Master and Commander, or Commander and Master, whichever way you see it, in the Hawkeye team in the Super League. Here we go. Redshaw with a good start here. Could be anyone's game. They're both great drivers. Redshaw finaling last year. I promised myself I'd never use that verb, but there I have. Here we go then, Redshaw. Just pushing it out a little bit. Bit of understeer there. He won't be happy with that. And here we go.
They're out across
Redshaw.
the...
Sorry, Simon.
No. You'd called it. You'd called it. Redshaw well out front there by over 2 seconds from Cooper, who appears to be a bit too ginger around some of these corners. He's not attacking some of the inside lines, or not feeling like good enough to get on the accelerator quite as quickly as what we've seen some of the competitors as. And as a result, Redshaw's going to have it. Ooh. It's a bit
Almost
spicy,
a
isn't
little
it?
bit too much there from Redshaw. There's definitely a lot of smoke and dust coming up from both drivers here as Redshaw just almost meets a sticky end on that barrier going around the first corner of the outside track. Cooper looking smooth, bit of a flick, but that was more to get onto the right racing line there. He's missed the curb, good work as he comes over the bridge now.
Looking like he's got a decent advantage, well over 2 seconds it's going to be by the time they get around. 2.633. Redshaw has potentially got this one sorted so long as he can just keep his head and keep the momentum going around this tighter, twistier infield circuit, and that's easier said than done, as we've already seen this evening.
Redshaw, definitely a veteran of this track. Having done it in 2011 and reaching the final, he knows what it takes to drive it well, and he's doing very, very well as he comes around to finish the race. And it's an easy victory for Lewis Redshaw, 1.4 seconds in it. He even made a bit more of an advantage on that final section. He can be very pleased with that.
With 1:41 as well, that's the fastest time we've seen for a few rounds of the track. That will do quite nicely indeed.
Great racing here at the Race Champions. Do stay with us.
The old Sim Racy TV. I think we you should go and get yourself a drink as well. We should let's commandeer the channel while Brad's out.
Yes, I think we should.
GP3
Two drunken guys commentating on motor racing. Can't be any better.
Can't beat that, especially now that we've got a Schroeton out on track, so every pun that I know is going to come out of my mouth now, sorry.
Well, I'll let you do the honours on this one then. Ron Schroeton, of course, one of the only drivers to be flipping mad this year after falling over the track barriers twice in the Super Cup.
Well, he's trying to put his Schroetons to the wall, I'm sure. And Scott's well off and away on the start of that one. Schroeton now going to the inside line, but he's gone way too deep, and that's going to compromise his exit. And yeah, because the infield, it leads from one corner straight to the other. As soon as you bugger up one, you're kind of out of sequence for the rest, aren't you?
You do have to be really careful here. One corner leading to another. Yeah, it's just too tight to make a mistake, and unfortunately we've seen quite a few drivers who made that one mistake and wish they hadn't got over the line, but he's still got to do that in the section. Maybe not quite enough, especially as he's just met the barrier. Schroeton pushing it really hard through that first corner, very lucky not to overdo it and spin out, but he's doing really well here.
Absolutely, he's recovered well. He's pushing the envelope kind of like a Royal Mail man, and Rick Scott is busy tapping little barriers here and there, and it's just the mistakes aren't quite so obvious, but he's done it again. But they just all mount up and mount up and mount up. But what's happened to Schroeton? Oh, he's well through before we'd even got round. 2.2 seconds, the gap at half time, and Scott's going round. Oh, good recovery.
Very lucky to keep it there. Yeah, it was alright in the days of Formula 1 World Grand Prix on my N64 where you could tap the barrier with invincibility on around Monaco, but on this track it's very different. One mistake and you might lose a wheel, you might lose a bit of car.
Days.
Those were the days with blocky corners that were apexed with about 5 different lines. It's crazy times.
But Schroeton eating up so much of the barrier there, he could practically call himself some kind of bulimic as he gets round the inside once again. And this is looking like a very comfy victory potentially, so long as he keeps his head together for these last couple of corners. A 142.990 for Roy, and Rick a 146.424, and that was all lost in the first half as opposed to the second, where it just, I think, culminate in problems and then you start to clutch at straws and get a bit desperate, and then the mistakes creep in.
Definitely. The problem is if you're behind in the first section, you know you've got to push a bit harder in the second set just to manage to stay with the other driver. Of course, there is the whole slow and steady things we've seen waiting for a mistake to happen, but with some of these drivers, you can't expect that. And that's 1-1.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I am back. Sorry for problems. I just had a very similar problem to earlier.
I think we need to go to relate, Brad. All these problems.
No, I understand it was just sort of lack of preparation because of R factor being on and it was really slow.
Computer problems causing problems again. Seen a
Scott
few times
versus
this
Cooper.
year. Here we go. And they're off. Scott with a great start there. Going in the black car on the outside line. Alex Cooper's though proven to be quick. Maybe not quite as quick as Redshaw in the last race, but we saw him do really well yesterday.
Cooper's a guy that I followed. I gave him sim racing debut for my little team, so I've got a personal vetted interest in that one. I promise not to take too much of a side, but he's
and he
looking a
clips
bit
the
dodged.
wall. He's clipping the wall on the outside.
Was that the back market brigade there, Simon?
Was indeed, but unfortunately I think Cooper's
Well-
going to be barrier brigade if he continues that.
Well, it looks a bit. I think Alex Cooper is sort of ahead of Rick Scott right now.
Ooh, it won't be if he keeps doing that though. Massive lockout going around the hairpin there. Going to be very tight. I think Cooper's got the advantage as we go round for the first
Yeah.
halfway split.
Yeah, Rick Scott had a slight love fest with the wall at the final two turns there, and he's over
Ooh,
again, and he's
yeah,
lost
too
control.
much. Yeah,
Too
he's
much
got too much
oversteer.
there.
He's doing it again, isn't he? But I saw that on the first lap round. I thought he was going to do that move, and then he managed to avoid it somehow with some kind of pant-wettingly dramatic spin or half-turn spin back round again. But unfortunately, could not avoid it this time round, and that's handed it 2.2 second advantage to Cooper so far.
Yeah, Cooper's
course.
got this one in the bag. He's now got the slightly shorter track, and he'll probably win this by about 4 seconds.
Got to hope on no mistakes here as Cooper comes around. He's near the finish now. He's got the easy corners. Still manages to knock into that wall as so many people have done. Maybe that's the new wall of champions. Right, that would be quite apt, I suppose.
That did deserve a little clappage. That was a good one.
Well, thank you very much.
Cooper's done that one in from Rick Scott, and that puts it to 2-1 to them. So, yeah, plenty of tricks up their sleeve. I'd like to know what else is in Bradley Vanion's bag, because a lot of people have got things in it.
Some say
Oh
he's a
yeah,
kind of
got
Mary
this one in the
Poppins.
bag. Got this one. Yeah, I say got this in the bag quite a lot, I guess.
Yeah, Mary Poppins higher. Maybe he's even the umbrella that makes him fly.
Hope you say that to your girlfriend, otherwise you'll be in for a nasty show. Redshaw versus Schroten. That's how he doesn't get his Schrotens up against the wall again this time.
Redshaw, a proven race winner here at the Race of Champions, as I've been saying. He's done very well in his first heat against Alex Cooper. This could go either way. Redshaw needs this race to get to a tiebreaker. And they're off. Great start for Redshaw. Leaving Schroten definitely in his dust as he comes round that really tight closing chicane there. And he's almost caught it on the curb. He's looking good. Till then, bit of a push there.
No,
Yeah,
he's
great.
lost it. He's lost it. Is that Schroten?
Oh, it is.
Oh, I think we're going to have to call
Lawn
that corner is going to have to be called Donut Corner after this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Impressive
Homer would
display,
be
but
proud.
that won't give you the victory at the end, although I do admire it. We should do a little donut montage at the end, but that's really handed it 7 seconds the advantage potentially to Redshaw as he goes round the, and you can, I suppose you can see the tyre tracks as well, even if you haven't got the LED display up to see how far in the front and behind you are. You can see those tyre tracks and you'll have a little wry smile, I think, as you cross the line.
You can probably hear it as well. As Redshaw crosses the line, waiting for Schroten now. The gap 5.3 seconds. That's probably plenty unless Redshaw can make a mistake here. A little bit of smoke coming out of his car as he takes that apexing sweeper into the hairpin. Now he comes around to take that third lap as Schroten can only watch as he takes the bridge. You can see quite how far Redshaw is ahead of him. I think this one's going to a tiebreak. If we're in the X Factor, it'll be a deadlock. But thankfully, I'm not Irish, and I'm not also an 80s club singer.
Nor are you that sad enough to probably watch that trash.
Amen. Strictly Come Dancing all the way. As Redshaw comes across the line now. Yeah, he's won it. long way ahead. We'll soon find out what the gap is for Schroden. Ooh,
Right! Drifted
Tank
across
slap.
the line.
5.7 seconds in it in the end.
Excellent stuff. Another one down. And so what is so hard about that specific corner? Because we've seen a few people eating a few calories with their donuts around there.
Well,
Have a
it's just if you're a bit too greedy with that inside curve, the way that these Peugeots are, you can very easily spin this car around by your left wheels. That turn to be your left wheels going on the inside of the curb. Your wheels and the rest of the car will just be following the curb around, and then you'll just lose control as the curb finishes.
Having looked at the track from way up high in the gods in Wembley earlier, and now looking again from one of our great cameras, you can see that little section there where the cars are going off. It's just so tough. You've got hairpin after constant radius corner after massive hairpin, and that's where the guys are getting taken out.
So now we have Roy Schroten and Redshaw.
I think it's about the 4th or 5th corner, and that's where that donut corner is happening. And here we go then, the massive tiebreaker. Who's going to win it? Who's your money on, boys?
Get your Schrotens out.
I'm going to go Schroten, and the lights, you can see him on the right, and there's the green lights.
Great start from Redshaw again. Pushes off Schroten, having to take the tight
Oh,
line again.
Schroten! Whoa!
So
Very
close.
impressive.
So close not to lose it, and then again on that curve, he's just pushing that curve a little bit too hard, and every time it's pushing him into a tank slapper, and it's just setting up for corner after corner of hatred. Goes over the bridge now. I think it's going to be a massive gap here.
I think it's going to be about 1.5 seconds, especially as Redshaw just made a slight mistake at the exit. That's left-hander.
1.79 in it, just about enough for Redshaw to be able to do his best around this and hope for the best. Here we go. Tight corner after tight corner for Redshaw. While Schroden, he's just overdone it again into that sweeper. And then into the hairpin, it's going to be so close.
Redshaw's got a slight advantage.
But then he's got the outside line here. But there's 1/100th of a second, maybe 2 in it. This is so close. This is edge of your pants stuff. Maybe edge of your Schroten stuff, indeed. As Simon would say. He's tank slapped that with a bit of a Scandinavian flick coming over the bridge for Roy. Looking good, but is it going to be enough? He's a long way behind here.
No, he's lost about half a second on that lap.
He's very unlucky, very lucky there though. Redshaw just manages to save himself from tank slapper, and again going around that first corner.
It's going to be very close.
This is anyone's race.
Redshaw seems to be struggling on the tightest.
So close. That donut corner claiming almost another victim, and I think this might have been the end for Redshaw. He's got to absolutely push it and hope here. This could be. He's just lost it.
Schroten's got it. Schroten gets it by less than 1/10 of a second.
Schrotens to the wall. Well, not to the wall, to be honest, because Redshaw was busy in the wall and having tank snappers everywhere. That Schroten got through. So well done to Roy Schroten and his little teamy weemy woo. And,
okay, so now we are in the semi-finals. So we have 4 teams remaining.
Lewis is going to... You do indeed. Lewis isn't going to be happy with that. He worked so hard all year to get to this point. The big burly blondie.
Ooh. Okay, so... Just trying to think. We have Fula and Lucas Euler, yes?
That's correct.
And then we have... David Stanton and Ruud Hiesterbeek.
Do we?
Wait, no, sorry, we do have Toika and Roland.
Yeah, I think Roland and Teemu Toika. An outside bet at the start of this for the win. Will they get through, especially with such wonderful teams as Melhuish and Parker or Potato Bennett. And Splarin and also Bennett have gone out. Also, and now Redshaw and Scott.
Yeah. The second semi-final, Parisis and Liechtenstein, and then it is Cooper and Schroten. We just saw Schroten winning the tiebreak against Redshaw to take himself and Alex Cooper through.
So gentlemen, if you were betting right now and you had a fiver, who would you be putting the money on?
I'm going to go with the team of Lucas Euler and Mark Fuller.
Any particular reason why?
Well, you know, Lucas, 2012 Super League champion, and I think compared to the other teams, I think they are the strongest team.
We'll soon find out. Smithy, are you with us?
I am not sure quite who I'd stick my money on, to be honest. I think this is one of those rare occasions where an outsider will yoink it. I'm not sure who yet. What about you, Ollie?
Hard to know, really, isn't it? I think Euler and Fuller, if Fuller can at least win one of his races, or he can rely on Euler to win all three, then you can't see past them. But at the same time, Nick Rowland and Team Toy, and this is the race we're going to see next. This could go either way. Whoever wins that one, I think, is probably going to win it for good. Maybe Cooper and Schroden have an outside chance. We'll soon find out, though.
We have Lucas Euler on the grid.
And he'll be against his teammate and team manager, Nick Rowland. Rowland in the black, Euler in the white.
Careful, you don't get sacked, Lucas.
I think we're beyond that now, and it's off for both drivers. Nice and quick, nice and close. As Euler takes the infield and Rowland goes out on the outside. Little bit of push there from Rowland, just about missing the barrier as Euler loops it round Donut Corner. Nice bit of dust coming off, but he's looking good as he hits the bridge. Now, Rowland's got the advantage, but is it going to be enough considering they've got to cross over and do the tougher section for Rowland and the easier section for Euler?
It is very close.
A little bit of a wobble there. Euler coming now towards a sweeper bend. He's taken that very well. Managed to miss the apex, but at the same time he missed the curve and the wall as well, which is part of the fun.
And he's got the lead.
Just taps the wall though. That'll lose him precious tenths, and the advantage 0.3 of a second. But Rowland's got that corner sorted. Euler having to push not to overdo it into the barrier, and a bit of a flick coming out there. Wow, this is a tense moment here.
Well, I didn't know that GPVWC had a World Rally Championship, but according to some of the driving we've seen today, I think there is.
I'd heard that the season opening next year will be on the Brands Hatch Rallycross track. In fact, I heard the other day that Lynn Hill still exists. That makes me very, very happy. As Rowland coming through to the outside section, intersection now rather. It's got all to do. And Euler beat him. Who's going to have the midnight bragging rights this time round? Euler had it all season with his victories all over the place.
And he
might just have it now. Oh, Rowland goes round. Rowland's gone round. That's the end of that one. Euler wins it by miles.
Well, and he's not even able to do a proper 180.
Last night we had that amazing J turn from Melhoish, almost after the line as he just popped it round on lap 3, I think it was. But no such luck there for Rowland.
That's the second time tonight then that he's been in the barriers, missing bits of his car. And you have to wonder just how close to the knife edge is he prepared to go.
Well, they'll get a little break now as Fuller and Toika join us on the track. Mark Fuller, the man from Southampton, well, Chandler's Ford if we're talking. Teemu Toika, the man from Finland. Likes a sauna, probably in the sauna after this one if I know him. That's true, actually. Talking of total fact here on the Race Champions broadcast with Simon Smith, Bradley Vanian and Ollie Woods with you all night. Sadly not drinking hand unless for Smithy. And here we go. Teemu Toika are away quicker than Fuller. Fuller's always had a bit of a slow start really. Fuller goes round the hairpin. Oh, he's just pushed that a bit too hard. Understeers through the corner and Toika's just trying not to hit that barrier. We know that Teemu and barriers are particularly fun. Oh! So close not to overdo it there. Proper Scandinavian drift. He'll be proud of that when he looks back. But Fuller's just meeting the wall a bit too hard. It's going to be a long gap here. 2.6 seconds. Good for Teemu, who needs that point to level it in the standings. Looking good here. He comes around the hairpin. Donut Corner, affectionately named. Comes over the bridge. Mark Fuller coming round to the hairpin now. This is going to be where it's all kind of plays out. If Teemu's got the advantage, which it looks like he does, especially as Fuller just about tank slaps here. 1.9 seconds and Fuller's still got the harder bit to do. Say this one's Teemu's race, wouldn't you, Bradley?
Yeah.
Fuller into the wall a little bit harder. Teemu, oh, just keeping hold of it going into the final hairpin. I think he's got this one. Fuller just coming over the bridge. And Timu Toika just got one more corner. There we go. Timu
One more
Toika
lap.
takes it.
No, there's one more lap to go.
Oh no, sorry, my mistake.
You're a bit
Getting
greedy.
ahead of myself. Really, I've been living in a time warp. Here we go, Timu Toika going around donut corner. He's himself on it. But all to do now. And can he make up enough time? I don't think he's going to have the chance. Timu Toika comes around on the outside, over the line. This time he really does win the heat for his team.
Yeah, especially as Fuller wanted to kiss the wall on the exit.
3.1 seconds the gap. Simon, your thoughts on that race?
Well,
Pretty damn awesome, I think.
I don't think there were too many mistakes. Well, the odd thing to slow them up. And now here we go, Lucas Euler versus Timu Toika. Germany versus Finland. I think I'd quite like to see a pair competition in terms of country, but I think we'd have about 5 million British pairs, wouldn't we?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
like
look.
a couple of Germans, and then you'd have like a few people in really lesser known, well, I'll say lesser known, but lesser populated countries, just sort of on the road.
Lesser known like China.
Yes, those ones. I think we'd have to give Cornwall their own country just for Mark Wicks, to be honest with you. Here we go, 5 seconds till the lights come on. Baker in black, Euler in white. They rev up. Who's going to win it?
Awesome
Toika
stop by
takes it.
Toika.
Great start from him, but Euler always consistent here. Coming round the first hairpin. You know, Timu does as well. He's just meets the wall a bit too hard there, coming through that chicane. And a bit of a flick there from Toika. I think his Scandinavian flick ideals aren't quite working the same way as he was hoping on the first
Well,
lap.
he's got a good advantage, but I don't think it'll be good enough. Euler should be able to catch back up before the first full lap.
1.5 seconds in it, just on the cusp of not knowing who's going to take this. Toika's got all the tight corners, just one mistake and that could see him giving a massive advantage to Euler, but he's looking good through donut corner and over the bridge. And
He's
look
got
how
it, he's
close
leading.
is.
Oh,
Look
it's
at the
going to be
outside
very
line.
close at the start finish line.
Oh, he wants to
Toika
put
is
money on this
slightly
one.
behind.
No,
No,
in
he's
fact,
ahead.
Toika takes it by 1/100th of a second. Crazy times.
Oh no, he
1/10th
hit
of
the
a second.
wall! Toika
He's-
clips the wall on the inside of sort of the turn 1 to turn 2 complex.
I don't think that will cost him too much though. I think it's quite a good way of braking actually. The Toika way of braking, use as much wall as possible. Or other cars. Well, back in his
Ah, you
lag
beat me
days
to
anyway.
it, you beat me to it.
Oh, Euler pushing himself through that corner. Bit of an
It's the
Indiana
same,
Jones moment.
it's the same as last time. Last time at the sort of halfway mark it was 1.5, this time it's for 1.6. And Euler's hit the wall, and I think that could be it.
We'll soon find out. Euler trying his hardest to come back from this one. Timu going over the bridge. You'd say if Toika could take it, it'll be a famous scalp, but it's going so close as they come round to the final lap, final corner. Oh, not quite. Oh yeah, there we go. 0.175 seconds in it. Timu Toika, famous victory over the Super League champion Lucas Euler.
That'll be a classic one. I think will be remembered for a while.
My prediction isn't going too well so far.
It isn't. Maybe we should get you a crystal ball or maybe some tea leaves.
You should get Crystal Schroten out.
Or if you get a new bag.
For your Crystal Schroten.
Maybe a crystal champagne glass.
That will
Well,
do.
Timu
As long as it's
Toika.
filled.
Indeed. Maybe with a nice bit of booze.
Nom nom.
Nom 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 nom. Timu Toika, of course, famous for the Toikid moment last year, and I
Yep.
think he's just put a famous victory on the map to redeem himself from last year. No laughter up here, definitely. I'll be very pleased with that.
Okay, so now we have Mark and Nick Rowland. Lining up on the grid. Waiting for the lights. Green! Yeah, they get a good start. Both of them. Very equal.
Slight bit of drift there from Fuller as he come around the hairpin. He's going to try his hardest to make it up in the tight corner so he can have an attack on the second lap here. Rowland, though, a very proven driver. Should have seen him out technical guff he was spewing last night when on the commentary. I didn't quite understand all of it. I'm sure you guys at home did. And Rowland's got the advantage, but he's still got that tough a bit to go. 1.7 in it, it's just about enough. But Rowland kind of overdoing it into that first corner. Leaves himself having to brake for dear life almost.
Well, Fuller's very clean through the tunnel section, and he's right on the curb, but not losing control of the car at all. He's got right back up to Roland, even though he is slightly behind now at the halfway mark.
Oh, this is going to be close. Oh,
no, he's lost
Fuller
it.
just tank slaps it out of the corner, just caught the curb.
They both actually had a slight loss, but Fuller went a bit further.
0.3 of a second in it now as Fuller comes around the tight section. Just has to keep it clean and hope for the best here. I think this is a car where there's many different styles, but a bit of oversteer, but not too much on oversteer seems to be the trick. Here we go.
Yeah, Roland has extended his advantage.
2.3 seconds
the
in
wall
it.
at the exit of the final turn.
Fuller will be hoping not to have to leave it too much for Euler, and he's tapped the wall again. Bit dire straits here. I don't know if it's a Romeo and Juliet or a walk of life, but definitely a bit of dire straits here as Fuller comes around the hairpin. And I seem to have inherited Simon Smith's penchant for puns as Nick Rowland definitely wins this one. Fuller just tapping the barrier on the way to a 1.1 second deficit. In fact, that's 3-1 to Timu and Nick, I'm told.
I think I just learned why I'm so crap at fantasy football.
You're doomed.
So,
Just saying.
Boyka and Rowland, first finalist, Lucas Euler, taken out of the running. Who was expecting that tonight?
I told you there'd be a little surprisey in the air, and but I didn't know it would quite come so soon in the semis. And yeah, always good to come from behind.
That's what she said. No!
Mark Fuller feeling a little bit sorry for himself. Outdone by Timu Toika there. And now we have the second semi-final all to play for. Jim Paresis versus Alex Cooper first, then Christoph Lichtenstein versus Roy Schroten. And we'll get the counter ready for how many Schroten jokes Simon Smith can make in 4 laps.
I will not partake. This is going to be the silentest minute and a half I will ever have.
I think we should force you to have a shot every time you make a joke, personally. Here we go then. Lined up on the grid, Cooper and Paresis. Paresis and White. And they're away, bit of the hold at the lights, but they're both away equally cleanly. Paresis maybe with a slight advantage, but then Cooper's got the quicker line to take first. Around the chicane he comes, takes it cleanly, not quite hitting the curves, but that's probably about the right thing to do here. Are you two fans of understeer or oversteer yourselves?
Oh, I'm total understeer. If someone gives me an oversteer, well, I just end up spinning and spinning and more spinning.
How about you, Mr. Smith?
I am a unsteer if I can help it.
Fair enough, I'm the other way, I'm more of an oversteer kind of guy. A bit like Lewis Hamilton. Whereas you guys are more Jenson Button and Alex Cooper looking alright here. Paresis working hard to make sure he's got that advantage as he comes around the hairpin. Here we go, this is the first time we see the cars together and they're neck and neck. Paresis with a slight advantage. Could be anyone's race as we come along the line. 0.2 of a second in it, Paresis with the advantage here.
Just going on board of Cooper, watching how close he gets to the walls, how much he rides these curbs.
A bit like Valencia here, not very much space. Make one mistake and you may be in the wall, you may have a wheel missing, you may even have a few teeth missing if you're not careful, and Cooper's got the advantage with the slightly tougher track to take. 1.1 seconds in it.
It looks like Paresis can get this.
Especially with Cooper making a little mistake on that first corner and that second corner, just riding the curb like a horse that's got 3 legs. As Cooper comes around donut corner over the bridge, looking good here, but will Paresis have it? I think he might do. It's going to be so close as they come across to the final corner. Paresis with the advantage. Yep. 0.14 of a second in it.
Someone put down that hobbledy-horse with the 3 legs because that was what cost it for Cooper, those 2 corners, because such was the advantage that Paresis had, just with 1.5 tenths. That's all it took for Cooper to slip behind.
And Paresis will be very happy with his work so far. Christoph Lichtenstein coming in with the white car to try and continue the momentum, but he's got Roy Schroten up against him. A tough appointment if ever there was one. They'll have the white car on the inside, the black car on the outside. Schroten in the black, Liechtenstein in the white. The Netherlands versus Germany. Always the famous battle.
Someone should loosen those Schrodens so it's not quite so black.
Right, where's that shot?
Just refilled my glass as well.
Hope so too. Here we go, 5 seconds till the lights come on. Crowd going wild here at the Race of Champions at Wembley. Never seen it quite like this ever since Muse played. That was a good night.
Yeah,
it's like Muse we hit 2 in a row. Here we go then. Liechtenstein with the advantage as they go around, but he's probably less confident in the corners than Schroeton. Liechtenstein taking it slow and steady, just like the way I drive, or at least that's what I tell myself. Here we go then. Liechtenstein going around donut corner. Looking good. Schroeton comes around the hairpin. And my missus is texting me asking for a bath. As you do. Here we go, Schroeton with the advantage, but is it going to be enough? 1.9 seconds suggested may well be as we finish the first lap.
Oh.
Liechtenstein.
Oh, Liechtenstein right over the curb, nearly loses it, and again. Liechtenstein using a bit too much of the curb.
Comes around that hairpin, looking alright, looking like he's making up for that time. Oh, maybe not, a little bit of a tank slapper, he's definitely behind here. As he comes out to start this third lap, halfway through, and a gap of 1.1 seconds to Roy Schroeton in the lead.
Liechtenstein drift around turn 1, but he manages to hit the apex somehow.
Schroeton using plenty of curve on that outside line. Really is such a tough race. I don't think I want to try it. I tried to have a few practice laps last night, and unfortunately my pedals immediately broke, which is probably trying to tell me something. Schroeton going up on 2 wheels there, but he's still got a 3-second gap. Made out 3.5 seconds, but he's made a hash of that corner. I made a hash of that curve as well, riding his luck here literally.
Yeah, he's probably also made a hash brown in his pants.
Oh dear, don't need that image, thank you very much, Bradley. Here comes Roy, he's just pushing a little bit hard, bit of a wall there, another bit of a wall, playing pinball with the walls, but it's going to be enough, and he takes the heat. That'll be 1-all, am I right in thinking?
I believe so.
There we go, 1-all, still all to play for.
Better run that bath.
No, it was overfilled by the time the missus gets here. I think. So, Roy Schroeton versus Paresis. Battle of the 2 winners so far in this heat. All to play for. Semi-final action here at the Race of Champions. Do we know if there's going to be a third place playoff, boys?
No idea.
We'll find out, I guess. Of course, only such things as the football decide to have those things.
They're both just finally on track. Nah. And they are away. It's a good start from both.
Bruce is coming around the hairpin, looking good. And there we go. Towards the first few corners. Oh, a bit of curve there for Schroeton around that chicane. Trying hard to push it to the edge. And there we go again, just locking up, almost drifting around that corner. Almost losing it. Trying so hard not to do a James May and just lose it in the drift.
Right, I've noticed something about Roy Schroeton. At that final turn on the inside loop, he uses a lot of curb on the inside. Now, if you use too much of that curb, you will be going straight into the end of the red and white barrier.
Of course, we saw the worst curves at the Singapore Grand Prix this year, where Pavel Lokanovsky and Tom Parker decided to go for a little bit of space flight somewhere over the moon. I think they re-entered.
Yeah, well, Paresis now has the advantage. Oh, sorry, no, Schroeton has an advantage by a couple of tenths over Paresis. Paresis
doing
set
well
a very
here.
quick lap time there.
Bit of wall there for Schroeton. Bit of curb now. He's really pushing his luck here, but here comes Paresis round donut corner, takes it cleanly. No such incident here as we saw in that first race where in the quarterfinal, where he flipped it.
Oh, Paresis sideways.
Just tapping the wall there. He's got a 1.4 deficit to make up. It could be they could make it here. He's got the outside line, riding his luck with that wall. Oh, he's just pushing it through the corner. So much work needed here
and
to keep the car on track.
Schroeton very slow around donut corner. He only had his wheels on the inside of the curb, but was not able. He didn't spin it, but he did lose time.
He just met the wall on the penultimate quarter, and it's all over. 7 tenths the advantage there for Jim Paresis, and it's 2-1 to the white team, which means it's all to play for now with the 4th race, possibly the final one in the semi-final section. We'll have Christoph Liechtenstein versus Alex Cooper. You'd have your money on Alex Cooper right here. I think here, gentlemen, to make it into a tiebreaker. We'll soon find out, though.
Come on, TXT me, do me proud. I remember on Alex Cooper's first race where we raced together, I lapped him. That will never happen again.
Many years ago.
God, I sound bloody old now. You sound suspiciously like you are related to Liam Jenkins.
Okay. So Alex Cooper on the left, Liechtenstein on the right, and Liechtenstein gets an awesome start. On the inside now, in the white machine. Clipping the curb, nearly hitting the wall, and, well, missing the racing line and the apex for the turn 2. Clipping the curb quite a bit again, and around donut corner, he misses the apex, but at least he hasn't spun like others have in the past. Cooper has a good advantage now. It looks to be about 2 seconds as they cross the line for the first of 4 times.
Disaster here in the Woods householders. Takes more than a 10-second pit stop to find the bottle opener. Cooper's looking good as he takes that tight section here. Winter cider in hand here watching Cooper. He's such a young driver. We all thought he was about 12 when he came to the GPVWC day until he picked up his awards. Then they made a man out of him. Here he comes around the last corner. But one to the last corner. He's got a massive advantage over Liechtenstein here.
Yeah, it's a 1.1 second gap. Can Liechtenstein get the time back? I don't think so, unless Cooper makes any sort of mistake. Well, he just made a very slight mistake. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He just clipped the wall in the chicane area, managed to save it so he didn't lose too much time, and he is still ahead.
So hard to tell here with the cars going opposite directions. Oh! They just caught the corner, caught the curb, meets the wall coming backwards. Well, not quite backwards, but maybe I'm doing a bit of exaggeration here. Two seconds in it. Will that be enough for Cooper? We'll soon find out.
Liechtenstein clipping the wall as well. Well, I don't think this is NASCAR. It looks like it though, watching that.
Too much wall there again.
Cooper? Cooper's way ahead. He's going to win this by a couple of seconds. Yes, he does. With a top 1 minute, 43 seconds.
This isn't strip racing, Christoph. You don't need to take off your bonnet for losing the race, but he has done indeed. Now it's a tie break. So good tie break.
Well, would it be? I'm guessing Cooper would drive. Who else?
Could be either of them. I think they're deciding at the moment. It's going to be Jim, I think, for their team, and then Roy. So Jim Paresis versus Roy Schroten. Rerun. Last time Jim Paresis won this one. Can he do it again to advance to the final? Here we go then, the countdown towards that tense tiebreaker. Simon, who's your money on? Simon's there indeed.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's surprising. I'm probably going to go with Roy Schroten for this victory. I think Roy Schroten is better in touring cars than Jim Paresis. Jim Paresis favours the open wheelers a lot more than Roy Schroten. However, I think it's a bit more the opposite when it comes to these Peugeot 207s.
We'll soon find out as they're away.
Still quite even as they go around the opening 2 bends.
Yeah, Paresis taking a nice wide line in that first corner, and now he's coming around this constant barrage of corners up to donut corner, which he takes with great skill. Roy Schroten almost overdoing it into the hairpin. Oh, so close. He's got an advantage, but of course he's still got that tough line.
Jim Paresis is still very close. I think Jim Paresis will be able to lead this race at the halfway mark, but the halfway mark is not what matters. It's all about how the drivers do around for all 4 half laps.
Schroten really having to fight it on the curves. You saw, just like Bradley showed us in the last race, how Schroten overdoes that curve on the way out on the inner track. But here we go, it's going to be a slight advantage for Paresis, I think. Only slight, 0.3 of a second in it. Just like it looked at the first lap. Who's going to win? Who's going to take it into the final for their team? We'll soon find out as Schroten comes around. Little bit sideways through the corner, that's going to lose him a lot of time.
And again, he's using a lot of the curb. He's dragging his wheels on the inside the curb. Now, it helps at some turns, especially sort of in the inside of the track, but at the donut corner, as it's called, it really does not help at all.
Well, there's a little bit of a tank slapper on the final straight from Jim Paresis, which made the gap about 1.2 seconds. Will that be enough for Schroen? I'm not sure it's going to be. As he comes over the bridge, here we go. Yeah, Paresis with the advantage. Is this going to be a white win? Is this going to be Paresis and Liechtenstein into the final? There he goes, 4/10 of a second in it. It's all over. Jim and Christoph in the final.
And Schroten crashes his car, probably into light. No, I'm only joking. It's probably a bit of anger.
Quite disappointed how many people are wrecking their cars. Peugeot not footing the bill, so I guess it's going to have to come out of Willie Panissi's pocket.
Don't worry. They're French cars.
Sure, Panissi will be happy to pay just for the amount of entertainment. As Mark Fuller leaves us after a good day's work. Here we go then. The final of the Race of Champions.
Well, let's check if it's the final or if there is a third place playoff.
I think it is going to be the final, according to Dave. Okay, so on one side, Nick Rowland and Timu Toika. They had to get through Boyd Bryson and Miles Dixon in a scrappy affair last night to win into the second round tonight. After that, they overcame Ruud Heesterbeek and David Stanton. And then, shock of shock, they took the champion out. Lucas Euler, 2012 Super League champion, and his partner Mark Fuller, beaten in the semi-final. On the other side of the draw, we have Jim Paresis and Christoph Liechtenstein. They beat Ari Nieminen and William Tringus in the first round. William Tringus, the defending champion. Then they took Simon Mellowish and Scott Bennett out in the quarterfinals, followed by Alex Cooper and Roy Schroten in the semi-finals to get here to the final. In 10 seconds' time, we'll soon begin the quest.
Okay, so we have Jim Paresis and Nick Rowland starting in this 2012 GPV Race of Champions final. The lights go out. And they're away. Jim Paresis has a slower start than Rowland. Rowland now on the inside the track, I believe. Is he?
Paresis on the inner side, actually.
Okay.
Comes around to Paresis in white here, as he navigates those tough corners leading to the bridge. Nice bit of stuck. Oh, he just clips the barrier as he goes over the bridge. That'll leave him a nice little wide route. Coming around the corner, there's a fair amount of advantage here for Nick Rowland. Can you imagine what Timu Toika's going to be like if he wins the championship?
Oh, and he hits the wall. Rowland flips the wall.
Paresis trying hard not to lose it as well. Into the chicane. Can he keep the advantage? Working hard here. Bit of smoke puffing off Paresis' car while Rowland takes that bridge. Here we go. They'll come together now. Paresis with the advantage.
And obviously now there's only one full lap to go. Paresis with an 0.8 of a second lead. Well, can he keep his act together? Can he keep his car on the road? Can he keep himself on the road? Well, we'll see in the next minute.
Rowland known for never giving up. Had a really great 2 years in the Super League and he's really worked on. It's so close. It's going to have to be a hell of a push here from Rowland as he comes round to begin the final lap of this first heat. 0.6 of a second, the advantage maybe that's a second in Paresis' favour.
Yeah, Rowland's going to have to do something magic in these final 20 seconds if he's going to win this race.
Paresis getting stuck on the curve. That might help Rowland just a little bit. Comes around there.
Paresis has got it. Paresis has got it. Now he comes down to the final turn. Paresis keeps it. Paresis crossed the line, and that is 1-0 now to the white team.
Half a second in it, but Paresis takes it for him and Christoph Liechtenstein. Okay, Liechtenstein, we'll see him now against Timu Toika, the Finnish protege, the Finnish revelation after last year, making it to the final this year. He's going to be so proud of himself, and so he should be. Maybe this will catapult him into a Super League drive for 2013, who knows?
Okay, so Liechtenstein and Toika.
Who do you have your money on, Bradley?
I'm going to go with Toika. It would be amazing if Toika and Rowland could win, especially Toika after his laggy affair last time.
Here we go then. Lights lighting up. And we're away! Great start from both drivers. As we temporarily lose the picture. Where have they gone? Here we go. Find them again.
Well, I think Toika's got the advantage so far. Got a slightly better start. He's drifting around these bends. Where
good from both drivers.
Oh! Well, that's a very slow start from Liechtenstein. A lot slower than Toika.
Still got the rest of the track to decide it though. 1.7 the gap, but it might just be enough for Toika to hold on as he takes the more technical inner section now. Toika really flicking it through the hairpin as he comes up to the bridge. I don't see the donut. The donut's disappeared. What's going on? To come through. Going to be Toika in the lead for the black team, for him and Nick Rowland as they cross the line. 0.67 of a second in it. But Toika, oh, he's almost pushed it too hard. Almost loses it through the first corner and then just meets the barrier to keep him on the straight and narrow. Comes under the bridge. Bit more oversteer. He's working it really hard, as is Liechtenstein, as they go the bridge. Here we go, we'll meet them and we'll see where the advantage is. I think it's going to be Toika in the lead.
Yeah, Toika's got it. And as you said earlier, it does seem like people have sort of learned how to do that donut corner, but I don't think Liechtenstein has learned how to do that final corner, smashing into the barrier, and he smashed into the barrier again at the exit of turn 1 and 2.
I think that's not the worst place to put it, just in case you manage to keep it going. You're not going to lose a particularly bad wheel there or spin. But he spun it now! Just about keeps it on the line.
Well, it's too late because Toika
lucky.
wins. Toika wins with an excellent time there, Ali. A 42.5. Well, if he can keep that up in any future races that he does, I would definitely put my money on Toika and Rowland to win this now.
It's going to be dangerous indeed, but here's the big challenge for him. Can he take the Formula Challenge champion on? Jim Parisis, current Formula Challenge champion.
Well,
Great driver.
by basic logic, he managed to beat Lucas Euler, so why not Jim Parisis?
This will be a famous double victory. He can make it into the Hall of Champions.
But obviously, in this Race of Champions event, is completely different for anything these drivers would have experienced before. So, drivers can be quicker or slower than they would normally be in the open wheel leagues.
Or in the tin tops, indeed, especially with the very short time to acclimatise these cars in this track. Here we go. Toika with a better start, but he's got the outside line. Here goes Parisis into the first corner. They're looking neck and neck, though it's really hard to tell, of course, as we go around here, especially with Toika tank slapping it. Very lucky to miss the barrier there. He comes around the sweeper. Again, a little bit of drift. What's Parisis doing? Oh, Parisis meets the barrier coming out of the donut corner. And it's going to be Toika with a slight advantage. Wow, could this really happen?
Okay, I've got a question. Do you think there is an advantage from starting from the left or the right side of the grid?
I think if it was me, I'd rather be starting on the inside, having the tougher track first, so I can bomb it through the last bit of the track. Less pressure that way. Possibly. Here we go then. Parisis really struggling to keep it around the corners there, but he's looking like he's just about ahead.
Oh, Toika! Toika clips the inside the wall, and I think that might have just given Parisis... Well, it's given Parisis the lead, but will it give him the victory? Well, I think it will, because Toika just made exactly the same mistake once and twice.
Toika's overdoing it so much here. Trying desperately to try and claw his way in, but oversteer's not going to be the answer for it, teaming.
I think his previous victories might have got to his brain.
Oh, here we go then. It's going to be so close as they come across the line, but Toika's still got that difficult line to take. It's 2 tenths in it. That's got to be in Paris's favour. Can he avoid the fate that befell him earlier? And with that barrier, he brakes especially hard to avoid it. Comes around the sweeper now. Hard work here for the boys in the final.
Using all the track at the exit that don't happen, but it isn't going to be enough. I think Paris is going to take this. Yes, he does.
He'll take it by miles, I think. But just under a second in it, Paris wins 2-1.
With one match to go, it is now 2-1. Yeah.
So of course,
it's all down to Nick Rowland. If Nick Rowland loses this, well, then himself and Toika have to settle for second. If Rowland can beat, would it be
Liechtenstein?
Yeah, then it would be to a tiebreaker.
You'd have your money on Nick Rowland any day, but this is so much pressure. So different to racing 70 laps around a 4-mile track. You don't have to think. You have to be in the zone every single lap here, or you
Yeah.
end up losing something.
Liechtenstein's ready on the grid. Roland just preparing his car. Another quick note, with the car setups, the only thing that you can change is steering lock, I believe.
I think there might be brake bias there as well.
Yeah, brake bias as well.
That's great if you have a certain driving style. Myself, I don't like to tinker because I'm not very good at that stuff. Here we go then. And they're away. Liechtenstein with a quicker start, looking good as he comes around in his bid to win this race of champions.
Oh, but he's ruined it all. He just went way too wide at turn 1, clipped the wall quite a bit.
Got to make this really tough complex of corners here as he comes into the final corner before the bridge. He's looking a bit better. Manages not to hit the barrier. Roland's coming around the hairpin. I think he's got the advantage.
Yeah, he's definitely got the advantage.
Margin.
It's gonna be about 2 seconds as they cross the line. Roland. Yeah, it's
1.8 seconds. But Roland's still got that tough section. He's almost made a hash of that first corner.
Yeah, but Liechtenstein was actually right on the wall, clipping the wall at turn 1. I don't think it would have cost him too much time, but it might be enough to cost him the victory and also cause a tie break.
So Roland with the advantage here. See what it's going to be as we cross the line for the halfway stage. 8/10 of a second. Pretty
Oh, and
decent
Liechtenstein
advantage.
in the wall again, and he's riding the whole of that wall at turn 1, just like he did at the start of this race.
Wall riding, commonly seen in Tony Hawk's games, but it's looking like a tactic that some drivers employed here. I'm not sure if it's the best one, to be honest with you, as Liechtenstein hits the bridge.
Well,
a long way behind now.
I don't think drivers are planning to do it because it's definitely slower. I think it's just what you do. If you make a mistake, Liechtenstein made another mistake, clipping the wall on the outside. Not the first time he's done that.
Oh, Roland almost tank slapping it. He's just got to bring it home now.
Oh,
really.
Liechtenstein! Liechtenstein's in the wall. And that is it. It's going to go to a tiebreaker. He's a 30 across the track.
Pretty good J-turn. It's not quite as quick as Melwish.
Well, no, that was more of a 3-point turn, 180 degree spin, too much of a spin, and Nick Roland takes the win.
I like it. It's so
victory
tense. So tense. Tiebreaker.
Well, let's just see what happens to Liechtenstein when he's just going. Wait, let's just get on board. So he's coming around turn 1 and 2. He turns in. Oh, and he clips the wall with the right side of the car, and that just sends him around into the GPVWC banner.
He won't be happy with that way, but I think that might be his last race for the night. I think it's probably going to be Jim versus Nick. We'll soon find out. Oh no, apparently it's going to be Timu. What's going on?
Well, maybe they're using a tactic involving bad internet connection.
I don't think so. Timu's connection's a lot better.
I know.
Pavel making a Scandinavian dig there. Here we go then. The grand final of the final, as it were. The decider. Timu Toika versus Jim Parisis for all the marbles. For the bragging rights going into the 2013 season. Could these two be lining up on the Super League grid together? We'll soon find out next year, but for now, will we see who can win? I reckon it's going to be Jim myself, but you can never rule out Timu Toika.
Okay, so Toika is ready. He's on the outside for the start. Parisis is ready. He is on the inside.
I think that'll be an advantage of Jim myself. We'll soon find out, though. Here we go. For the final time. Lights out, away we go, and Timu Toika absolutely smashing out the blocks.
Well, that's exactly the start you need at the start of such an important and pressurising race.
Their hearts will be pounding in their mouths as they go around these first corners. The Timu almost locking up into that sweeper bend there, into the hairpin. Let's see what the advantage is going to be like. It's a decent advantage for Timu, but he's still got that really tough technical section. And the gap, 1.1 seconds. Not sure it's going to be enough, Bradley.
Yeah, well, Jim Parisis did beat Timu earlier, and I think it might be the same case now.
Well, we'll soon find out. Timu navigating those bends with ease into Donut Corner. Comes over the bridge looking really smart. Will it be enough? I'm not sure.
Oh!
So close!
Parisis,
so close!
Okay, Parisis is leading by a couple of tenths. Let's see what the gap is at the halfway mark. It is 3 tenths. Timu now right on the inside. Timu going right to the apex of turn 1 there on the outside of the track.
I think he took that corner perfectly there myself.
Yeah.
And Paris is having to navigate donut corner, does it perfectly. Oh, almost! Just catches the curve on the way out. He won't be happy. And Timu's got a lead. Is it enough, especially with Jim just twatting the barrier there? Is that going to be enough? 1.4 seconds.
That is about the gap that we would expect. 1.4 to 1.6 seconds.
Can Jim turn on the class here? Maybe he can. He's taking that corner well.
If you watch Timu
fighting it. Timu fighting it so hard.
It's like a matador and a bull. Timu being the matador and the Peugeot being the bull.
Oh, this is going to go down the wire! This is brilliant! Oh, it's going to be so close! Races wins it!
What's the gap?
0.02 seconds! Wow! Wow, you could not have hoped for a closer Race of Champions final. And Jim Paris, Christoph Liechtenstein. Wow! They've done themselves proud. Jim can't believe it. He's laughing in disbelief, and I think Timu's probably crying inside. But there we go. Your Race of Champions this year is over, and the champions, Jim Paris and Christoph Liechtenstein. Brilliant. We try and get some interviews, Bradley. What do you think?
Well, for an event which is capping off the 2012 season of GPVWC, that is the perfect way to end off the season. We had surprises, shocks, and just a super race to finish it with such a close ending.
Here we go then. We're live with some of the finalists here. In fact, all of four of the finalists. Firstly, boys, congratulations on your hard work tonight and last night. I'm sure it's been worth it. Let's start with you, Jim. Brilliant work tonight. Were you so amazed? How amazed were you that you managed to keep it over the line just then?
Yeah, the last race was very, very difficult. Timu is so fast in all these races now, and 20 hundredths of a second, if I'm not wrong.
Something like that, yep.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy. Sorry.
That's alright. We'll let you off this once. Were you praying that you weren't going to hit it into the barrier again like you did earlier tonight?
Yeah, I hit the barriers and think I had half a spin in some point. It was crazy last race.
Congratulations, Christoph. If we can turn to you, how happy are you with your performance tonight?
Well, I'm happy that I had such a strong teammate with Jim, because actually I fucked it up pretty massively. I wasn't as fast as yesterday, and in the end the others were quicker, but I was lucky that I could rely on Jim, so we saved our asses.
I'm sure you did your part as well there. Were you biting in nails as Jim went round those final corners?
Oh, it was so awesomely close. First I was watching Timu for the first part of the final lap, as I saw he was I think 1.4 seconds ahead, and then I was watching Jim and I saw he was pushing so very hard, he revved the hell out of the car, and as I crossed the line, I didn't know who won, and then it showed Jim as a winner, and it was just an awesome feeling, to be honest.
Congratulations to you, Timu. How do you feel right now?
So sad.
Oh, Timu.
Well, I was astonished by my own driving tonight, because I really didn't expect being this fast. But something happened just when I no idea, just speechless.
Wow, congratulations, mate. Do you think this makes up for all the laughter last year at your infamous moment?
I don't know.
And Nick, are you gutted right now?
A little bit, yeah, because that was just awesome. Timu's been superb all night long. I've not really done anything, to be honest, but he's just done an outstanding job, and to lose by that margin is credit to how far Timu's come.
How did you find that Peugeot compared to the Legends car from last night?
Still just as bad. I just don't like. Not very good short little track like that. Understeering cars, not my type of thing. But nevertheless, we got to the final, and Timu showed his true colours. And I think there's going to be a couple of Super League teams after him for sure.
I would have thought so. Is there anything anyone else would like to add?
No.
I want to congrats Nick and Timu.
Yeah, well done,
and my
Jim and
teammate,
Christoph.
of course.
You can all be very, very proud of yourselves. Thank you, gentlemen. Go off and spray some champagne, if that's what you do nowadays. Maybe rose water, maybe if you're Kimi Räikkönen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you.
I think that's it here from the Race of Champions. I want to thank everybody who's been watching live and those who are watching again on the recap broadcast. For myself and Bradley, good night.
Good night.